Welcome to the most authoritative boxing channel here on social media. My name is Med, and in today's episode, I'm going to discuss the arrest of Jarrell Big Baby Miller as he's being charged with carjacking and burglary. This is a very unfortunate news, and I'll be giving you my take on this particular topic in this episode. As I read from Boxing News 24, Jarrell Miller arrested in Hollywood on carjacking and burglary charges. Heavyweight Jarrell Big Baby Miller was reportedly arrested on Tuesday in Hollywood, Florida. The charges could sideline the New Yorker native Miller for a while, but not necessarily permanently halt his career. According to ESPN, the 35-year-old Miller was charged with carjacking without firearm or weapon and burglary with assault or battery. He is still in jail, bail held on a $30,000 bond. The heavy-set 6'4", 300 pounds Big Baby Miller was booked into Broward County Jail. This is obviously ends good for Miller as he put on a good effort before losing to 26-year-old former WBA heavyweight champion Daniel Dynamite Dubois by the 10th round knockout on the day of reckoning card last month, December 23rd in Saudi Arabia. Miller fought well enough to be demanded by other promoters to be used as an opponent as long as Miller doesn't get prison time for this incident. He should be able to return to the ring to resume his career. It's unclear how the Saudis would view this incident because Miller would be a useless option for the likes of Aji Kabayal and Joseph Parker for some of their fight cards. Many fans believe that if Miller were in better shape or more active with his career, he would have beaten Dubois, as he was giving him loads of problem in the first 4 rounds before gassing out. The 2018 version of Big Baby would have been too much for Dubois and it wouldn't have been competitive. In Miller's previous fight way back in March, he stopped Lucas Big Daddy Brown in the 6th round in Dubai. If Miller can get past this problem, he needs to lose lots of weight and stay busy with his career because he can't be at his best if he's carrying around too much fat and not being active. Blah, 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 blah. The story goes on. But I think that Jarrell Big Baby Miller is a guy that always cheats himself out of opportunity. He is not a clear-thinking individual. He is coming across as a very, very dumb individual because this is the man who was said to make $5 million against Anthony A.J. Joshua. His career highest payday that would have been as at that time. He went ahead and took drugs and the fight got cancelled, making Andrew Ruiz replace him and upset Anthony A.J. Joshua. Then, on his comeback, he was signed by Bob Arum and he failed yet another drug test, making it 2 successive drug tests. So this should tell you who that individual is. You've done something, you went scot-free. Upon your comeback, you do the same thing again. Then, we recently heard him say he will pull up on Eddie Hearn anytime he is in New York. Why would you want to do that to an individual if you're a right-thinking person? If you're a right-thinking person, and this time with the car, according to other sources, the car was repossessed from Jarrell Miller due to some payment issues. So if you want the car back, you should go to your legal team and go to the company and negotiate on how to get the car back. Not to rob them of the car. That does not make sense. Anybody in his right thinking mind will not act like this. Jarrell Miller's thinking needs to come into question. He says a lot of BS and does nothing sensible. He is coming across like an elephant with the brain of an ant. He is not acting his size. he is not thinking his size. And this is a very unfortunate incident that has the possibility of halting his career. And with the Saudi, per the performance you put up, they can call you to a fight again and give you lots of money. But Jarrell Miller being himself is cheating himself out of another opportunity again. How can one keep on doing this to himself and his family upon all the disgrace he has brought to them? Isn't that enough? Isn't that enough? Jarrell Miller, I'm very, very disappointed in you. And I think that he needs to surround himself with right-thinking people. He is 35 years. He is not a young chap anymore. He is a full-fledged adult with family and must be setting examples for them to emulate, not come up with such crap like this. I don't know the American system very well, but it will be very difficult, or he needs to pay his legal team, or he needs quality legal representation in order to come out of this mess. Per what we are seeing, I'm not pronouncing him guilty, but per what is on the surface of the case, this is not looking good for Jarrell Miller. He needs a better legal representation in order to fight his way through. We need to be responsible for our action, and Jarrell Miller, if he goes to jail, that is on him and not on anyone else. This is my take on this particular issue. It's a shame that Jarrell Miller has put himself in this particular predicament, because there are not too many American heavyweights that are performing at the top level. So he has a chance, if he's able to come back from the loss, to rally America behind him, because he is a great talker, he is a great marketer, he is a great promoter. But unfortunately, his attitude is pulling him down. This is my take on this particular episode. Hit the subscribe button. Remember, your greatness has no limit.